Hey everybody, I'm Sophia Roe. Today I'm with my good friends at IMAGINE5 and we are going to be making a braised cabbage with ginger. Gorge. What inspired me to pursue cooking? Honestly, probably not what most people think. It was kind of a necessity thing. I grew up really food insecure. I had just dropped out of college and I really just needed a job. And I fell in love with it. I fell in love with what it is to work in a kitchen. And that was, almost 15 years ago. So I've kind of been doing it ever since. My favorite thing about cabbage is that it's in season year-round, okay? You can do so many things with it. It's very affordable. You can stuff it, you can steam it, you can braise it, you can fry it, you can fill it, you can do so much with it. And today we're gonna do my favorite thing to do with it, which is braise it. A braise is typically when you do a quick sear, you take it out and cook it in liquid. So it's not a braise if you're not cooking it in liquid. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna do a quick sear of this cabbage. I chose this recipe because I can't think about fall without thinking about a braise. You do a quick sear and then you let the oven kind of do the rest. That's like kind of one of my favorite things about fall. So you see these gorgeous wedges, we just want to make sure they've got a sear. You would do this exact same thing if you were making like a short rib, right? So I think one of the great ways to make vegetables taste better is kind of consider cooking them how you would cook protein. As a young cook, I really was inspired by what fungi and vegetables can do for my food. Now, I didn't have a plant-based background yet, but I started to see that this is gonna be a thing. See? Gorge. The thing for me is to just get people excited about vegetables. And a lot of that looks like the way that you're cooking it. So now we've got our seared cabbage, set it aside. It's gonna be fine there. It can hang out there. We're gonna add a trifecta here. Our mirepoix is shallot, ginger, and garlic. Oh my God, we'll do it one more time, just cause like, what the heck? Gorgeous. And we're gonna season as we go, because that's what we do, and that's how we do it. So I'm doing butter and oil in the pan, butter for flavor, oil for that good color, okay? I'm using a plant-based butter. Use what you want. So we're gonna do some lime zest. Don't ever cut into a piece of citrus without zesting it first. That's just silly. There's so much flavor in there, and you don't wanna waste it. Tasting it, it already tastes good, right? So you wanna make sure that every step, everything tastes really good. So we're gonna squeeze our lime juice. We're gonna add our coconut aminos. We used coconut milk for this, but honestly, you could get this same deliciousness if you used veggie stock or broth or tea. Pick your liquid. I just happen to love the flavor of coconut. We're gonna let this cook down for a little bit, and 2 to 3 minutes. We just want it to kind of get a little bubbly, and then we're gonna add our cabbage back in. Cooking sustainably for me is pretty simple. It means eating as seasonally and as regionally as possible. It was very apparent to me at a young age that things within the food system didn't really make sense. And my example of this is so intense for me. I grew up with orange groves in my backyard, but I distinctly remember going to school and seeing boxes of oranges and seeing product of Ecuador and thinking, that is so strange. We got our cabbage in the oven. And so while the cabbage is in the oven, doing its like passive cooking thing, we're gonna make a salsa verde. The great thing about a salsa verde is you can put a bunch of stuff in it, but at the end of the day, as long as it's green, it's a salsa verde, okay? We have an oregano, we have some cilantro, we have parsley, and we have chives. If you only have one of these things, say you only have parsley, just use parsley. You use what you got, okay? I'm gonna leave the stems on these herbs. You know why? This stem of the cilantro tastes just like the leaves do. So what we're doing when we're making this herb sauce is we're complementing the fact that we're cooking our cabbage in something very fatty and something very rich. So the herbs are meant to brighten or lift the food that we're cooking. Another little hot tip, you need to be salting your sauces. We also have our acid, so we've got lime juice here and red wine vinegar. This is gonna actually help macerate and break down those herbs a little bit. The lime juice is just gonna give us a beautiful complementary lime flavor because again, remember, we used the lime juice in our cabbage as well. We got everything in the bowl except the oil, and that is by design because the oil is always last. And I'm a really big fan of making this and letting it sit at room temperature. I love that. So we wanna keep it all like nice and low in the bowl like that so that all the herbs have contact with the vinegar to just help soften those herbs. It's perfect. And so, we're gonna get our cabbage out of the oven. We're gonna top it with the salsa verde, and you're gonna love it, and I already do, and that is that. Gorgeous. Look how beautiful that is. You see how it's cooked down so much? This looks like a dish where the main ingredient definitely costs more than $1 a pound, okay? Okay, it's time to taste. How stunning is she? It's incredible. The ginger is amazing. The creaminess from the coconut milk really comes through. The herbs from the salsa verde, again, that acid really cutting through the fat. I want people to know that it's possible to create a really elevated meal with very little. For a lot of people, it feels complicated to make a dish that's plant-based, that's also yummy, that's also gonna look gorgeous. And I'm here to tell you, I'm actually here to promise you that it's a lot easier than you think. You more than likely have everything you need at home to make a dish plant-based that is just as gorgeous and just as delicious. Happy cabbaging, happy braising. Oh my God, wow, this is so good.